This video is a guide on how to engage the abdominal muscles. This is for beginners, but it is also great for anyone who needs a recap. Abdominal awareness is important for maintaining spinal integrity during loaded movements. The primary muscles we will be targeting are the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, and the internal and external obliques. My name is Grace. I'm a biokineticist and movement enthusiast, and I will be guiding you through some of the useful steps to help you find awareness in your abdominals. You can start lying down on your back, your knees are bent, your heels about in line with your sitting bones, and you're at a neutral spine. So this means there's a small gap between your lower back and the mat. Your spine is relaxed, it's in its natural curves. I want you to start by putting 2 fingers from each hand just inside the hip bones. So you're gently pressing into the musculature of the lower abdominals. We're going to start with some cues to help you find your lower abdominals. I want you to imagine someone's about to punch you in the stomach, so you're bracing for impact. You should feel the muscles hardening underneath your fingers. Relax completely. Now find that contraction again, but only about a 50 to 60%. So you should still feel the muscles hardening under your fingers. It's more subtle. It's a contraction you can maintain for quite a while. And the muscles aren't bulging upwards into your fingers. They're just hardening where they are. There's no movement. Relax completely. Let's find that again. Feel the hardening under your fingers. If you're struggling to find it, you can imagine someone's trying to zip your 2 hip bones towards each other. I also want you to imagine you holding in a V. So you're going to feel those pelvic floor muscles engaged as well. So there should be a lot of activity in this area. And you can relax completely. Let's find it again. 50% bracing for a punch. Hip bones zipping towards each other. Holding in a V, that pelvic floor is engaged. You're going to keep all of this active, and now you're going to let this knee move out to the side towards the floor. Then you slowly come back again. You're not allowed to let anything tip or move in the pelvis or the back. So the tummy muscles have to stay active to keep everything nice and still here as the knee tips out to the side. If you feel that this hip is lifting as you're going over, don't go as far, and really use those abdominals to fight that. Last one. Coming back to the middle, and relax those tummy muscles. Good, we're going to find them again, and now we're tipping the left knee out to the side, same thing. No movement of the pelvis. Those lower abdominals is what keeping everything nice and still. Make sure you're not holding your breath. You're still breathing. Last one. Right, we're back where we started. I'm going to put my arms up here just so you can see what I'm doing. You can either have your arms at your side, or if you're liking the feedback with your fingertips, you can keep your fingers just inside the hip bones. My spine is still neutral, so I've still got that gap between my lower back and the mat. I perform my abdominal contraction. Now I'm going to gently slide this right foot away from me along the floor till my leg is straight, and I'm slowly going to come back again. And we're going to go again. I haven't lost my abdominal connection. My foot is light on the floor, and so is my left foot, so both feet are quite light on the floor. So if you find you pressing really hard with the left foot, just take a bit of pressure out. The tummy muscles are preventing any pelvic movement, especially a tipping forward. Again, we don't want any movement in the pelvis or the spine. Coming back, relax completely. Let's go for the other side. Find the abdominal contraction, left leg slides out. Slowly coming back. Both feet are light on the mat. Left foot sliding lightly, right foot is resting lightly. And just take any tension out your neck or shoulders that you might find you trying to grip with those areas of the body. All the work is happening from the belly button down. Consciously relax the neck and shoulders. Alright, we're coming back to where we started. We're still at a neutral spine. Let's engage those abdominals. You're going to get your right leg up to what we call a tabletop position, and then you're slowly going to lower it back down. We're going to swap sides. Left leg up to tabletop and slowly back down. I haven't lost my abdominal connection, it's still there. And my feet are light on the mat, so lightly placing the foot down. I don't add extra pressure, it's just resting there. Left leg comes up. So make sure you're not pressing hard into the floor with that foot. Again, any tension in the neck or shoulders, consciously be aware of that, let it go. Belly button down, that's where the work's happening. If you're feeling any strain in your lower back, then stop this exercise. You might be more comfortable with an imprinted spine, which we're going to do a little bit later on. But you should be feeling work in the tummy muscles and maybe on the front of your thigh. One more each side. Right, feet are down. We're going to do a little bit of pelvic movement this time, so quite the opposite of everything we've been doing. We're moving out of a neutral spine. We're going to do it with abdominal engagement, and we're going to use the lower abdominals to help us with the tipping of the pelvis. Find your lower abdominal contraction. Use those lower abdominals to tip your pelvis backwards. So your pubic bone is now being pulled towards your face, and your lower back now melts into the mat. And you slowly relax back to where you were, which is the neutral spine. Abdominals contracted, pull that pelvis back. Lower back tips into the mat. And you're slowly coming back to neutral. My feet are still light on the floor. Tummy muscles are still doing most of the work for this. You might feel your glutes waking up a bit. That's fine, they are also involved. As long as you're initiating that movement with the tummy. Pull that pubic bone backwards. Let's do two more. Let's see if we can get that a bit deeper. So really tucking that pelvis, lower back, pressing into the floor. Back to neutral. Last one. Alright, we're at a neutral spine. We're going to go into an imprint and stay there. Abdominals contract, tip the pelvis back, lower back melts into the mat. So we're in our imprinted spine and we're going to keep this position. Now we're going to repeat the previous exercise. Keeping the abdominals contracted, keeping the lower back imprinted into the mat. Your right leg floats to tabletop and it floats back down. Left leg to tabletop, left leg floats back down. My lower back hasn't left the floor. I'm keeping that deep pelvic tilt with the tummy muscles. And again, my feet are light on the mat. So it's easy to cheat and press very hard with the grounded foot to keep that pelvic position. We're trying to isolate the lower abdominals here. We're trying to let them do the work. So keep that foot resting very lightly. Check in with the neck and the jaw and the shoulders. Work is from the belly button down. One more each side. Good, you can relax back to your neutral spine, relax your abdominal contraction, and you can take your hands behind your head. They interlace, they rest at the base of your skull. Your elbows are nice and wide, but you can just see them in your peripheral vision. And we've got a neutral spine, so we've got our little lumbar gap. We've mostly been doing lower abdominal work, and we're going to do one exercise now to finish off engaging the upper abdominals. So we're going to keep the lower back in a neutral spine, that's important. We're going to come up into a chest lift, so the head lifts, the neck lifts, the shoulders start to lift, our chest starts to lift, and we're aiming to get onto the tip of the shoulder blades, and then we slowly come back down. Very important, we are keeping the lower back neutral. So as you're coming up, you might feel that lower back wants to melt into the mat, but you're fighting it. So your lift will be limited because of that, and that's fine. That's going to help us isolate the upper abdominals. Your head and neck is relatively relaxed. It's supported by your hands. The work is coming from the upper abdominals, so you can shift your focus to these guys at the top of the rib cage. Slowly back down. Let's go for 2 more. This is quite a hard one. Lower back stays neutral. Focus on the upper abdominals. Slowly down. Last one. Can you come up a little bit higher? Coming back down. Relax the head. Get the knees in. You're going to give your knees a little hug. And we're going to finish off here.